You ready? You need a refill or a bathroom?
I'm good.
You're good to go.
No, I'm good. I was just trying to find some good lighting because it is now sunsetting behind me. So I'm trying to.
You've matched pinks with us. I like that.
Well, I have the purple behind me, and then I have the blue in front of me, which is exactly what you guys are.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Doing.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it.
This is new. These I just got those.
We just
Nice.
we just procured these lights.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right, so I'm going to go into the episode. Jimsy, can you?
I sure
get
can.
it? Okay.
I sure can. You give us that smoke.
Welcome everybody. I'm bringing the smoke.
Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my...
In between each sponsor.
Okay, today,
Yeah!
Bacon is My Podcast is brought to you by drinkwildbills.com.
Do you want to drink some root beer?
Grill your ass off.
Do you want to season your meat?
Poddex.com.
Do you want to ask some questions?
Manscaped.com.
Shave those nuts and shave your face. Keep your balls clean. Keep your balls clean.
And also mythicalbeards.com.
I want my beard to smell nice.
I regret that. I regret that. If you want the best deals on these particular items, go over to baconsandmypodcast.com. You can get those promos and deals right then and there.
Exactly.
20% off on and free shipping on Manscaped with Bacon Pod.
Shave your balls.
Stop. You're killing
And your
me
face.
here.
And your face.
And your face.
Yeah.
It's great. That new beard trimmer is fucking fantastic.
It is really good.
It is great. And then mythicalbeards.com, Bacon 15% off your
Yeah, man.
whole
Make your
entire
beard
order.
smell like ice cream and mint.
Yeah, absolutely. And today,
This evening, this morning, whenever you're listening
whenever you're
to
listening
it.
to we've got singer, songwriter, overall pretty fucking awesome. She's got her new record out, Happy Never Ending. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Leah. And
It's gonna be a
great
fun
episode.
interview. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun episode.
Fun
conversation. I gotta stop calling these interviews because they're not. They're just not.
It was funny too because even on the What's Your Bacon, we kind of we totally hit it off and we kind of learned about her things about her bacon. That's what we like to lean on a lot. But at the same time, man, we're songwriters.
Yeah.
So that's why we lean on that particular aspect of this interview, because we just had so much fun talking to her about the different genres that she got into. And, dude, it was great.
I try and steer
songwriter,
away. I try and steer away from song writing.
We do
a lot.
try, but this one was very different.
Man, I just really liked her songs, so I just wanted to know the answers. So it had nothing to do with you guys listening. I appreciate you and I love you and I'm glad that you're there. But I asked questions that I just really wanted the answers to.
Yeah,
which is kind of the deal all the time. But
yeah, usually.
But yeah, I just really like her writing. I thought it was really cool, and I like her songs, and I just wanted to know more about it. So.
Yeah, so that's a really fun interview, and she's a Jersey girl. We talked a little bit about how her Jersey roots affected her writing and style and all that kind of stuff, and we should probably do that right now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay. Interruption!
I was going to do the hold up. Hey. But that was better.
Nice.
There's no time like today to take care of your hygiene.
Indeed.
And one of those things that can help you, if you're a man or a woman even, Manscaped. Manscaped can help you with their lawnmower 4.0.
Yeah.
Their Lawnmower 4.0 has skin-safe technology. It's a ceramic blade. It's waterproof. It's got a nice little LED light, so this way you can see underneath all those crevices.
Shave your privates in the shower in the dark. Don't actually do that.
Don't do that.
But you could.
Yeah, you could with Manscaped.
Because you have a light.
Indeed. And for guys, listen, the perfect package 4.0 is like where it's at for you guys. Because it comes with not only the lawnmower, not only the weed whacker for your ear and nose holes.
Well, we got one. So, so bring it up real quick. What you also get, so yes, for one, you get the Lawnmower 4.0, which is ceramic blades. It's not going to cut you. It's got a guard so you can, make sure that you got a trim in some spots. You got to the skin in other spots. You make sure that beanbag's shiny. We also have some...
Package that beanbag in...
underwear.
The underwear.
Yeah.
It's got the little ball pouch.
It does have the ball pouch.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's great.
Separate. It's technology.
This right here
I like
is
this.
for when you are shaving your balls.
Yeah.
It's little placemats, so this way...
It's like a newspaper.
Yeah, but then you just you shave them, you crumple it up, you throw it away. No mess, no fuss.
Yeah.
Right?
It's also got some. It's got some fun, funny articles in it.
It does. It does when you read.
I recommend you definitely read it, but not while you're shaving your nuts.
No. There's the ball deodorant.
Yes, I use it every day. Crop preserver.
And the crop reviver.
I don't use it every day, but I have used it plenty
of times. It is pretty fantastic. You need that midday spritz.
Yep.
Just go for it. Freshens you up right away.
Who doesn't love a little spritz on the beanbag?
Exactly. And where do I keep it all? Well, right here. The shed, baby.
You know what? The shed is a pouch for the things to clean your pouch.
Exactly.
Right?
I use it personally for my toiletries when I travel.
You do? I've seen it.
I've got multiple. I've got a few of them.
Uh-huh.
So, go ahead, manscaped.com. Use the promo code BACONPOD.
You get 20% off this entire order plus free shipping. Not only can you get the Perfect Package 4.0, but you can sign up for their program where they will send you new stuff automatically.
New blades.
Every month, every 2 months, every 3 months. You decide what you need. If you need new blades every 3 months, they'll send you new blades every 3 months. If you want to check out maybe the crop mops.
I can't talk about the crop mops enough.
They're my favorite thing.
Yes.
Get those every month.
When you come and you hang out with us and we see you and stuff like that, we always have crop mops on our person. So
it's like a business card, but for Manscaped and not us.
Yes. So go ahead, manscaped.com, promo code BACONPOD, 20% off, free shipping. Call it a day. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
What are you drinking? What is it? Johnny Walker? What is it?
No,
we have Bushmills right now.
Oh, it's like shaped similarly.
We have we got this triple pack of Bushmills.
Yeah.
We did 2 shows already, so we went through the regular, and we are now on the Black Bush.
Oh.
We usually do Jameson, but I forgot to. I didn't get to get a new bottle, so
we have all this whiskey,
and we have a lot of whiskey. Like we have something called Cocoa Bomb.
We do. We have a chocolate.
It's a chocolate whiskey.
Ooh.
That I've heard great things about, that I brought here because I heard great things about, and then we still haven't ever opened it or tried it.
So
because
what we need to do is
Taskmaster here.
Sorry, you could tell with like the whole like camera thing too, where I'm just like, move this out of the way. I do digress, but today we're joined by singer, songwriter, fucking awesome artist with a brand new EP out, Happy Never Ending. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got Leah on the show. Dude, what's going on?
Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate the intro. That was cool. Kind of caught me off guard. A little bit of a jump scare.
Yeah, that's what we do.
That's what I do. Wait until my segue later might be even worse.
He is the master of all segues.
Yeah, but dude, thank you for joining us. We were gonna try and do this last week, and I like you had like work and stuff.
Sucks, yeah.
And when I was told that, hey, listen, we're gonna have to move it, I was like, that's totally cool because
well, you were out of town.
I was out of town anyway, and I was going to do it remotely.
So we were like remotely figuring it out anyway.
But But yeah, the non-remote episodes work way better, and I'm glad that we got to push it down to this week. And dude, excited that you're on your new EP. And I said it before, and he said it before. Yeah. Dude, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I texted him earlier today that like we had two artists that we were listening to today to do interviews with, and I had listened to the other one and checked it out and everything, and I thought it was good. And then I heard yours, and I immediately texted him. I was like, "She's really fucking good, man! Like this is great."
Wow,
I'm a fan of this. This is great.
That's awesome. I appreciate that.
Hey, you know what? Like I appreciate a well-written song. I'm a songwriter. I love lyrics. Lyrics draw me in, and the style of lyric writing that you do is very vulnerable, and it's very open, and it's very kind of like, hey, this is how I feel. It's in your face. You can fucking deal with it, or you can not. But I got to get it out, and so I'm going to get it out, and somebody's going to love it. And I love that. That's my favorite kind of song. That's my favorite kind of writing.
Wow.
So,
I'm glad that's what you got from it, too, because it's like if I were to ever describe my music, that's exactly how I would say it, and I didn't even have to tell you that.
Sweet. Awesome.
That's awesome. Thank you. That means a lot.
Cool. I loved it. I had a really good time with it. Like,
yeah, absolutely. And you've got roots here on the East Coast. You're currently in LA.
Yes.
And we talk to a lot of people from LA, but we're from New York. We're here in New York, and you're originally from Jersey. So what I love is like reading up on your bio and stuff like that, like how you were influenced by like the Warped Tour era and the pop punk and stuff like that. And what I don't think a lot of people realize is how much of that is like super deep rooted in Jersey.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jersey is a crazy hotbed, and you know, like, hey, this year Bamboozle's coming back. It used to be Skate and Surf, and then it was Bamboozle, and you know, it was off for a few years and stuff like that. So tell us a little bit about the Jersey scene and your like roots in the Jersey
your experience
scene.
in
that.
Because,
I don't know. I think that's kind of like what made me as an artist. You know, I feel like moving away from Jersey, I feel like a lot of people are just like, it's the armpit state. Like, there's not much to do there. There's not much to do there, but it's just like, I don't know. I find myself constantly talking about it, but because I think the music scene that like I grew up on when I was like old enough to go to concerts and like discovering music myself was that pop punk scene, and it was just so prevalent in like where I'm from specifically. So like I'm from Point Pleasant, and then we have Asbury Park, which is a huge part of that scene. And I would go there all the time, like as a kid, and even like Starland Ballroom was like a big venue for like bands to come through, and like they were all just the bands that I'm influenced by now, but I just listened to growing up. And yeah, Jersey was just like such a hot spot for that type of music. So even just going to see my friends' bands play, or like being in my own little like high school band and stuff and trying to play those gigs out there, it's like we all made a similar genre and style of music, and it came from Jersey. And so I love talking about Jersey now as an adult, because I think it just influenced my music and my career so much, growing up in that like beach scene, like that punky beach scene that like there's not I don't know, it's very unique. It's a unique story. There's not a lot of people that get
you
to,
got like Jersey Shore Fest, which people don't really know about. That was like a big thing for a little while. Dude, you brought up Starland, and that immediately,
I love Starland
to my heart. Listen, so we're in Long Island, and I will 9 times out, until they opened up the Paramount here in Long Island, 9 times out of 10, I would go to the Starland show before I would go to a city show.
Yeah.
Because I love Starland.
And that 10th time you'll stay home.
Yeah.
Right.
He's correct. He's correct.
There's just like a certain crowd, like, I don't know. I mean, honestly, the only time I think I've like gone there maybe a couple times, with like the one time I remember going there like very like fresh in my mind was for Mayday Parade, and I was like still in high school. So a lot of these like experiences from Jersey for me were like high school experiences. So it's like what were all age venues that like were allowing me to go in, and it's actually crazy because I was going to like the Pony and all that, and I was underage, and I think that was probably a really big thing. Even though right now I'm only playing like 21 and up venues, but I still have fans that are like, please, can you play in all ages? And I'm like, oh my god, like there's no all ages venues in LA. Like I'm freaking out.
Actually, funny enough, my drummer just recently texted me and he was just like, hey man, my son really wants to come watch us play. Can you just book an all ages show? I'm like, just book an all age what?
Right.
Yeah.
What?
You know what?
What is that?
Like
It's
you made like a light bulb go off in my head because I'm like, that's why I've been so influenced, and now I'm playing all these shows that are 21 and up. Like, who the hell am I influencing? Like, what kids am I going to influence on like being where I was? And that's not happening as much, and that does like really put like a thing in my head right now.
Yeah, it's like you
need
gotta
the packager.
Gotta find those VFW halls. You know what I mean? Like you gotta find those places that'll let you in. Like
I feel like just recently they've just started those like doing those again.
Yeah. They stopped for a long
but
time.
now like where I'm at, I'm like, cool. I'm gonna go to a VFW hall and they're gonna be like, cool old dude, like. Way to play a VFW hall to 16-year-olds. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be a creep here. I just want to play music.
I just got music that I think is good.
Yeah, you want to inspire people. I didn't think about that really until we just talked about it. Like, yeah, all ages venues, like huge thing growing up, especially in like Asbury. Like that influenced me. I went to a Offspring show. I was looking back at my photos in like 2014. I don't think I was of age then, was I? No. I had just graduated high school in 2013, and so it's like how the hell did I get at the Offspring show at like however old I was? Like that's insane, but like that was like so impactful in my life.
Well, and I think that's one of the cool things about Jersey, and I'm sure there's places in well, maybe not LA, but in California definitely.
Yeah, like Anaheim, like Chain Reactions, all ages.
Any places that you can get to that are kind of by the beach. Like, because, you brought up Jersey Shore Fest.
Right.
Well, and what you have there is you have all these places that are kind of open air places. Like,
sure.
if you can't go in and buy a drink and everything, you can still hear outside, the band from the boardwalk.
That's what my roommate and I did that. It was like a while ago. We didn't get into the actual concert, but we watched it from, it was like Brick and Mortar and like Alabama Shakes. We watched it from like the freaking boardwalk, and we were like, this is awesome. We weren't allowed in.
Exactly, right? And I think that kind of, that shapes you too, because, and I think I've always thought that was cool about the Jersey kind of like music scene, is that they had that kind of like boardwalk beach thing, but they didn't lean into it the way that like you find like SoCal bands or even like Long Island, New York bands do, where it becomes more island vibey. Mm-hmm. They get a little bit of that kind of reggae theme to what they're doing. You're still getting just as much of like the punk scene and the hardcore scene and all that kind of stuff. You're just kind of getting it in a little bit of a different flavor. That's I don't really know how to explain it, because it's not the same thing, but it's unique to Jersey. Mm-hmm. I've played with a lot of bands that are in like that quote genre, in the pop punk genre, in the punk genre, around the country, and it's like there is something unique about like a Jersey scene versus an Ohio scene versus a California scene, and there are distinct differences between them, and that happens.
That's why I keep like Jersey in my bio. It's like I've lived in California for a long time. I've lived in North Carolina. I've lived in Philly. Like I'm gonna live in Nashville. It's like, but Jersey is like, that's like what you're getting when you get my music and when you get me. Yeah,
well, you got that certain amount of attitude and that certain amount of urgency. There's an urgency to music from this coast or this side that you don't quite hear. And it's not like, it's just a different thing, there's just a different aspect to it. Like you brought up Mayday Parade, and that's one of the bands that like I went and saw also. And like bands like, I'm trying to like think back to like when I was going to like around that era would have been like SGT, like bands like that.
Taking Back Sunday,
like, and there's a certain attitude to, or a certain urgency to the playing. There's a certain attitude to it that's influenced by the New York hardcore scene, and that's also influenced by kind of like being away from that and being on like a water like type of vibe where it's like relaxed, so you're like hardcore and on top of the beat yet still relaxed and in the pocket.
Yeah.
And it's this weird
Literally that, yes.
kind of thing that happens that I think is really cool about the style and the genre that kind of comes out of there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love that. What I've been talking a lot.
I've been talking nonstop.
I was going to give you a minute to like. So you talked about Nashville. You talked about heading to Nashville. I always like, for me, I always said if I were to move anywhere, that's going to be it. So what's bringing you to Nashville? What's up with that?
I mean, I haven't felt that way okay, growing up when I was like applying to colleges. After that, I guess I went to college in North Carolina. It was probably the best case scenario I could have done for myself. It was a great time. But thinking about like, okay, where am I going to go next as an adult? Am I going to pursue music, etc.? I'm like, I have New York, I have Nashville, and I have LA. That was in 2018. And I'm like, I've been to LA for 6 months already because I did a school program out there. I kind of just always had this fascination about LA. It just felt right. I love the beach. Like everything just felt like that was my timing. That was perfect. That was right. I still love LA. I absolutely am so grateful I got to spend the past like 6 years here. It's been an incredible experience. But at the time that I was looking to move and like decide where I was going to like pursue a life outside of like what I've grown up in, Nashville was an option, but I wasn't part of the scene at that time. And it wasn't because I was really into pop at that time, and I know we'll probably touch on that later too, but it just wasn't what I thought it was going to be for me. And even talking to people about it now, it has grown so much from country to pop to alternative, and now it has everything, and like that's just evolution of music and time. And I think now sounds like the right time to be there. I've honestly I've been flying to work there for 2.5 years. I feel like it's been at this point.
Well, you're producers there, right?
Yeah, Chase Coy, he's out there. So I've just been going there a lot, and I'm like, it took so many times flying out there to where I'm like, I just need to be there in this moment of my life. Right. I need to like live there. So we're gonna try it out.
That's awesome. I love Nashville. Like I love the area and stuff like that. I know it's grown a lot, and I know that when I first started going there, Broadway was basically off Broadway. So you could go there and see like an awesome original band, but now Broadway is basically all cover bands and stuff. But we found a bunch of really cool spots. We did. The 5 Spot. Yeah. The 5 Spot. I love that venue so much. We saw some really good bands there. Definitely cool. But yeah, I love the feel of Nashville, and yeah, now I feel like right now, especially, and even the last band we interviewed and stuff like that, the lines are blurred with genres so much that if you want to be a viable producer or a viable fucking anything, you have to be accepting to all of the genres. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's like Chase says that too all the time. He's like, I want to do all these genres. Like I have to be that to right in this climate, in this in this music industry. It's like today. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can't. We talked about it in the past. Like tribalism is like still a thing in a lot of places.
It definitely is with music.
But moving forward, it's fucking not. It's just not. It can't be. Yeah. It can't be because you can't do the same thing over and over and over again.
Quick reminder that this show is brought to you by our brand new sponsor, Mythical Beards. Check them out, mythicalbeards.com. You can get stickers, you can get hoodies, you can get all that kind of stuff, but most importantly, you can get shit for your face.
Keep your beard fresh, keep it clean, keep it groomed. If it's good enough for Mick Foley, god damn it, it's good enough for us.
I'm wearing the Kraken right now.
I am actually wearing the Dracula.
Nice.
And that's why I smell like an old-time barbershop.
If you go to mythicalbeards.com and use the promo code
Bacon15,
you get 15% off your entire order. The show is also brought to you by our good friends at GrillYourAssOff.com, where you can also get 15% off of your order of all spices, grilling rubs.
they're delicious freaking sauces.
Yes, delicious sauces, all that kind of stuff. Every season is grilling season if you like to cook.
Yes.
So definitely check it out. GrillYourAssOff.com. Use the promo code
Bacon, because it'll keep your grilling season all year fucking long.
15% off with the promo code. 10% off at drinkwildbills.com, where you can get all kinds of great sodas, which we've seen lots of mixers for. So keep sending them in. Hashtag drinkwildbills. Hashtag what's your bacon. Send us your beverage options.
Of choice.
And also poddex.com. You can see them in another part of the show.
Yes, indeed.
But both of those, 10% off, use the promo code BACON. So
Yes.
check it out. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you got. Use them. Find them. If you can't remember what we just said, go to baconismypodcast.com. Everything's there. Check it out. Thanks for watching. That leads me to a question for you as a songwriter. So Stay Right has that island jammy vibe,
Yeah.
right? Future X is very club.
Yeah.
Pebbles, Get Over Yourself, very pop,
Yeah.
right? Now, the Happy Never Ending EP is very rock, punk, alternative. So, and I even heard that you want to make a new metal version of Hawaii, which I would love to hear.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic. So for you as a writer, and this is why I will contest the middle finger, because it was a compliment. I personally love writing in all styles. As a songwriter, I like having bits and pieces of as many, like,
pushing yourself.
yeah, like my band's recent, the last 2 years of us being a band was releasing singles specifically so if that single had a flavor of a certain kind of music, we leaned all the way into it and went like, how far can we push this? With like, let's visually like do the artwork as if it's this genre and style, and let's kind of like find all the best parts of this genre and style and how do they mix with our style of music, and let's try these things and do these things. How important do you think it is in this like day and age for songwriters to be able to be like versatile like that?
Genreless almost.
And so as a second one, how important do you think it is for songwriters to be able to kind of do that now? And two, which one of those genres for you kind of is the most fun? Because you've really dipped your toe in everything and done it really well. Like, I gotta say, like,
Thank you.
when you did pop, man, it was mixed pop, it was produced pop, it was recorded that way. The harmonies you chose, the instruments you chose, everything really kind of went all the way in. You didn't half-ass that shit at all. Same thing when you went club and you have remixes. Same thing now. You know, like it feels authentic. Everything is authentic to the style that you went in. So it doesn't at all feel like, you know, like, I'm chameleon, just kind of doing whatever. It feels like you went all in on everything, which I think is awesome, right?
Thank you.
So yeah, one, how important do you think that is for a songwriter to be versatile? Or do you think that stands in the way sometimes from somebody just being like, yo, this is my lane and I'm going to push it 1,000%? And what genre was the most fun for you?
Yeah, those are all great questions, and thank you for the compliments. That means a lot, because it's like, truthfully, those times that I was making all those genres, I was fully and wholeheartedly committed to it. Like, I was inspired by, I can list you like 10 artists with each genre that really inspired me. I made music off of that, and then I moved on. I think what you saw, at least from me, was an artist developing into, I think, what felt the most authentic to me. But at the same time, I think it's important to be versatile, but in the climate of like, modern music and top 40 and I'm not that I'm trying to be that, but I'm also not trying to be the most unique alternative band either.
yeah.
Like I want to be
You're not trying to
mainstream.
not sell anything.
Yeah. I mean, kind of. I mean,
Let's be real.
Yeah.
You know, like the minute you put something out for other people, you're putting out a product.
right.
And unfortunately, like as artists, we all kind of like, that's like a shitty thing to be like, I'm putting out a product. But like the reality is we are putting out a product.
I don't mind it.
We are trying to make something that somebody's going to like.
Right.
Yeah.
Because music is communication. So you're trying to communicate to other humans,
Yeah.
and you're just kind of like, you're aiming that arrow at different things at different times.
Yeah. And that's
So I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all.
I don't either. I mean, the reason I'm making the music I'm making now because it's like I was influenced by it, and I've been told so many times that my voice just sounds better in rock, and I've grown up on rock and roll. It's like, all right, let me like really hone in on what I think actually sounds best to me, but there's a part of it that's still mainstream and I don't mind that. I know, like, I feel like there are some pop punk bands out there that would definitely be like, I want to steer as far away from mainstream as possible. And that's okay. Like, that is okay if that's what you want. I still love to listen to it, but there's still a part of me that is grasping onto that mainstream pop sound because I really like the business and the marketing of music, and I like to see how much I can push that with like the alternative stuff that I like. Like, there's a reason things are like new pop or new punk, new metal, new rock, and those are like playlists that I've been on too. It's like, thank you. Like, I want to be seen as an artist that is inspired by something in the past, but like bringing something modern and new to it. So I think it's really important to be versatile as an artist because you're just gonna pull those ideas and it just makes you who you are. But like, there's obviously no science to it. Like, you like literally described my evolution of my music career. It's like, I liked surf rock. I was a big hippie at a time in high school. I loved classic rock. And it's like, you heard that and Stay Right. And then I had like this pop phase, and like, I made this like California beach pop playlist on Spotify, and it has a lot of followers and people want to be put on my playlist. And I was like, damn, that was just a phase of my music. And like, and it's doing something somewhere. It's like, it's just, and I like how you said it was authentic because it literally, like, you saw me like just making the shit I wanted to make at the time. And that felt really good.
I think that comes across though, like, I think I always, I teach at a music school. I teach at like a school of rock and stuff. And anytime I talk to anybody
too.
Oh, nice. I talk to anybody that wants to be a songwriter or has any aspirations at all of being a songwriter, and they're like, what style should I write in? And I'm like, whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Like, and they're like, but I like all these different styles. Don't I have to pick one? And I'm like, no, I don't think you do. Just because I think you have to be genuine. And I think if you're genuine, it doesn't matter what style you're in, because the one thing that people don't respond to is bullshit.
Oh, and they respond to it, but very badly.
Well, yeah,
like,
they're not going to respond the way you'd like to
No.
bullshit. Like, but if you're authentic and you're genuine in what you do, and you can tell that, like, if you're going to play in a style, then I need to know that you love that style, because I'm going to hear it. I'm going to hear if you went into it and it's just not
your thing.
It sounds like you did it to fit something. Mm-hmm. If you're trying to fit into into some kind of frame, like, you can have an amazing painting and you try and put it in a frame that's too small, you're going to lose all of it. And you're only going to get one perspective. If you consistently make it fit whatever you're doing because you appreciate not only the picture but you appreciate the frame, then you're going to make things that are going to fit and that they're going to work and they're going to be real and they're going to be genuine and people are going to respond to it.
Yeah. And bouncing off of that, another thing, like, kind of like the advice you give to like people you're talking to about this stuff, it's like something I kind of always say, but I think I say it more candidly, never really in an interview, but it's just like, you're not to be blunt. Like, I'm always blunt. So like, not to be frank, but like, you're never going to be original. And I think the best you can be is authentic and genuine to yourself. There's nothing I'm doing that's unique. There's nothing any artist nowadays is doing that's unique. And if someone says it, like, that's a dime a dozen. Like, it is very hard to come and make some stuff, especially if you want to be a successful musician. No one wants this experimental, wild. You're not going to sell stadiums out on your first record if you make this like crazy out there spaceship music. You got to make something that somebody else already made, but do it in your own way. And like, that's something you got to get in your head, or get out of your head. You know, it's just like, you're never going to be original, but you can be yourself.
Yeah,
absolutely. That was the best advice I ever got from someone. Like when I did one of those, like, what was it? Like they had those festivals in New York. It was like the Munch Music Festival or something like that, where you would go in and you'd play, and if you did well, you'd get like 5 minutes from an industry person that would sit with you and talk to you, right? Like those things. And I remember getting so much horrible advice from those things that I never listened to. But then I got the best advice I ever got from one of those was someone being like you can, if you put in your bio, if I come up to you on the street and you hand me a card, right, or you hand me a CD, and I say, cool, what type of music are you? And you give me something that I can't understand, then I don't care. If you give me if you give me something like, we're totally unique rock that you've never heard before, my immediate reaction is, no, you're not.
Yeah.
And I don't care anyway, because you've not given me anything to go with.
Right.
But if you say, oh, you know, like we've got a like my band, we've got a Green Day and Foo Fighters and Cheap Trick in a fisticuffs brawl, right? Then it's like, oh, either I like one of those bands or all of those bands, or I know someone who does, or at least immediately I have an idea of what you sound like. So I can do something with that. Mm-hmm. Right? If you don't give them that, then they're just kind of like, oh, right, you've invented a whole new style of music that no one's ever heard before. Cool. You've found the 13th note, and you've used it. Great. Good for you. No one cares. And I thought that was really good advice, because at the time, it was like I was starting the band, and I was trying to be like, we can't let anybody feel like we're copying anybody. We have to show that we're unique. And it's like, we ain't unique. Fucking nobody's unique. There's 12 notes. They only work together so many ways.
That's one thing I do hate about like writing with other people, where they just go, oh, well, this band did this in this song. It's like, that's a drum fill. Like, fucking relax, dude. Right. Like, it's not a big deal.
Right? Yeah.
We can't do this because insert incredibly successful, amazing, chart-topping, world-recognized band did it. And I'm like, no, I'd like to do what they did. I'm totally fine.
That's something that like kind of boggles my mind a lot too. Is like, how do people write this many songs and like there's only been X amount of, you know, like not lawsuits, but like, you know, legal stuff that comes out about it. I was like, how that really boggles my mind. It's like, how do we get to space? Like, how do you write this many? Like, every time I write a song, I'm like, someone has to have written this song before.
Right. Somebody's found this melody because it works. Right. It works. And with the genres of so many genres of music, like, you know what's coming next when you hear it. And if it doesn't, it throws you off. And you're almost kind of like, I don't know. I wasn't into that song.
I like that.
But like, if it goes where you want it to go, like, you're kind of like, yeah, cool. Because we're not making music for musicians. I'm not singing to impress a singer. Mm-hmm. I'm singing to somehow reach somebody that can't or doesn't think they can. Mm-hmm. And will for some reason go like, oh man, I'm not alone. He gets me. I feel like this song was written about me. I feel, you know, like, those are the things. That's what I've always gone for, you know, because that's what I appreciated about music when I was growing up. I would listen to a song and I'd be like, they get me.
Yeah, like, that hits hard.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm not alone. Yeah, and that's what music always was for me. So that's what I always wanted to be as far as music goes for other people.
Yeah.
And I get it. There are people out there that are like, you know, I want to go full crazy prog in different ways, and I'm like, awesome. Do it. But also in that music, someone's done it.
Yeah.
And they've done it really well. And just, you know, the only thing that separates you from anybody else is your heart and your mind. Mm-hmm. That's really it, you know?
One thing I will do with those type of people, and like I've dealt with a lot of them in my years, but one of the things that I'll do is they'll go, oh, I want to do this like weird crazy thing. Cool, no problem, as long as there's room for a chorus that's catchy as fuck.
Yes,
that's all that matters.
Yep,
that's all that matters. If you don't have a chorus that's catchy as fuck, what are you doing this for?
Right?
Why show off how awesome you play guitar? Cool.
It's hard too nowadays because like music is at your disposal, like no matter like, you know, maybe like 10, 15, 20 years ago, like it was, you didn't hear a ton of music all the time because
it's true.
Social media didn't exist. So, you know, granted, we do have like a giant pool of competition. I don't like to call it that, but like of, you know, people fighting, you know, you're fighting for others' ears, you're fighting for people's ears. So we do have that. But at the same time, it's also given like opportunities, you know, to artists like myself to do like big things and perform in front of big crowds, whether it's at emo nights or just kind of like collaborating with a major artist that wants to give smaller artists the chance. It's like there's more of that. So it's like it's just happening like times 1,000. Like it's just happening a lot now. But it's great. It's a little bit harder to get into it, but at the same time, like there's something for everybody. And even if like I think my being in the music industry, I think as a rising alternative artist has made me realize how many fucking people there are that like listen to music. Because I think like I'm 27, right? But it's like the past 15 years, like the world kept getting bigger as I got older. And I think that's what happens when you age and you get older. You realize that there's like a lot more people out there than you were ever exposed to as like a freaking toddler. And so I'm just realizing nowadays that, you know, if this person doesn't like it, then this person will. And if I can't believe all the shows that like I have friends that are like selling out venues all over the world. And I'm like, the shortage of people who are going to listen to that music is never ending. It's crazy like how many people are out there that want to listen and like engage and, you know, be a part of this. So like I did random like unsolicited advice like to anyone like starting in the music industry. It's like there's always going to be someone listening to it, whether it's good or bad, whether it's good or bad. Like there's always going to be somebody.
I love that.
And these days, just like you were saying, like there's so many places to listen to it. And it's always changing, but every time it changes, it still carries over all the music from the last place.
Yeah.
You know, so like there was a time in the world where to hear something from somewhere that was outside your bubble, you had to actively do it and look for it and go into some music store and search through CDs and find it.
Yeah, which I've done. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Versus now... it'll show up on your Discover Weekly or it'll show up on something else because you happen to listen to something else that leads you to it. So there's really this element of once you put something out, like that's your immortality is there because it's forever going to be there and there will always be someone that'll find it and there will always be somebody that's going to listen to it.
Yeah, which is super cool.
Yeah, which is it's weird and awesome and super fucking cool. It makes it I don't know if it makes it to where music gains value in some ways or loses value in some ways because it's not so yours. It's kind of anybody that wants to can do it and anybody that wants to hear it can hear it. So I think there's something to that argument of like music's been devalued because it's so
oversaturated.
Yeah, it's so easy that it's become background. You know, like people live their life like they used to watch a movie. There's music in the background of a movie. There's music in the background of my life. I'm not paying attention to it. I'm paying attention to the action.
Yeah.
So that happens, but I still think that you know, a great song and a great writer and a great singer is gonna break through.
It'll cut through, yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Someone's gonna hear it and they're gonna go and they're still gonna get that like somebody gets me.
Yeah, it's not. Oh yeah, somebody gets me. I was gonna say it's not like it's not like someone's gonna pick you up off the street and be like, I discovered the best new artist. But it's like,
Right.
no, there's gonna be people online that just resonate with the shit that you're making, and it's gonna reach somebody, and then somebody will believe in you. I mean, just even from my own experiences, it's just like that train of, oh, I heard this from this person, and then that person heard that from that person. It's like, and then I get more people on my team, and it's like, yeah, if someone believes in it and if they love it, like they will grasp onto it, whether they're a listener or like a supporter that could help you in other ways, like in industry ways and whatnot.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. You brought up artists that want to help out other artists and stuff like that. My question, one of my favorite bands is Sleeping with Sirens. So what was it like working with Kellin Quinn? Now I know that like there's a lot of there's a lot of like that, like the Artist X, I think, is that what it's called?
Featured X.
Featured X or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you can kind of like, hey, you could do that, whatever. Did you get to work with him, and what was it like working with him?
Yeah, I did use that website. I think it's like, I feel like a lot of people, not that are gatekeeping it, but I feel like there's this little like shame in using it. Because there is talks of just like, oh, this band and all these bands are suddenly getting Kellin on the song. And it's like, yeah, but also there's been an amazing community of people that I've met through that, because it's like another artist, that had worked on him with the song. Like now we're friends, like Bimo Rouge, for example, who was on FTS. Like he did a song with Kellin. That's how I know him. And we have like this little group of people that just like are friends now because of
FTS is, by the way, my favorite song on the record.
Hell yeah, thank
nice,
you.
nice.
I appreciate
like
that. That's awesome. I never know how, like, I know that's like the hardest one, so I never know how like each song's gonna hit, but that means a lot. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, just getting to work with him, he gives like a platform. He has a platform and he shares it with artists that are up and coming, and I think that's really awesome. And I don't know, he's been great to work with. It was really an easy process once he like listened to the song and he like approved it. Like he has to like it to work on it. He enjoyed it. He put his parts on it, sent me a ton of options, and then communicated with me directly, and I sent it off to my producer and then mix engineer, and we just like kind of picked the best parts and mixed it in there, and it worked fantastically. And Kellin's been sharing my posts and retweeting and reposting and everything, and it's been really, really fun as an artist to connect with his fans as well, because I think like when you're that big, you definitely don't have the time to get to know a bunch of individual people that support your career, but you would be nothing without them. And like they obviously appreciate those people, but it's been really like fun as like a smaller artist to get like some of his fans and have them like just I'm at the point where, I mean, I really hope I never get to a point where I can't answer people, but I know that that's a thing. I absolutely recognize it and understand it, but like I'm on my phone like 24/7, whether it's like, posting stuff or answering DMs. It's like I right now I acknowledge every single person, and it's so cool to like get to talk to these fans of his that are now giving me a chance and respect me because Kellin shared them with me, or like Sleeping with Sirens created this awesome fan base, and now I get like a tiny little hair of that, and I'm getting to know these artists and what they like, and they're helping me grow and like still being a small artist and stuff. So that's been so fun.
Whether you used the site or not, you still got the seal of approval. You know what I mean? And you still got the share, and you still got to experience that. And you said, I think it's awesome. I did. Why wouldn't? This business is tough.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's a pain in the ass. So any kind of thing like that, I think, is amazing. I think that's awesome. You brought up your favorite song on the thing, so I felt like I needed to do that as well.
Yes.
But I will narrow it down even more. I have a favorite part on the entire EP.
Ooh.
And it is in the song Like Yesterday.
Deep cut.
And it is there's this
Right smack in the middle.
Yeah, but it's this beautiful like ballady type song, but right in the middle we have this one part where everything hits, and there's this like primal scream that kind of happens right on beat, right with everything, and it's this huge moment, and then it goes away, and I just love the production decision to do that.
Thank you. That was me,
Because-
actually. I give Chase a lot of
Oh
credit
my
for
God.
everything he's done, but that was all me.
That's so
Thank
fucking
you.
cool. Like when I heard it, I was just like, it came kind of not out of nowhere because
Someone
like,
said it was a jump scare when they were listening. So
yeah, like the song, that was the right place in the song to have something.
Oh, for sure.
And then the fact that it was just kind of like, oh, that's fucking cool. That gave me like the shoulder shrugs. Like that was fucking awesome. So
wow.
that's my favorite part of the EP.
I really appreciate that. There's like a little funny story that kind of comes along with that. When I was doing it in the studio, I like told Chase, I was like, because listen, ballads are like my bread and butter, but I think they're appreciated by a very niche group of people, and they're not that mainstream content. So it's like, how can I make Like Yesterday speak so much to like myself and others listening while also making it interesting enough to, for somebody like yourself to say something like that about it? Because it didn't hit with the last EP. I love Take You on Tour, but it was very specific to people that listen to it. So I think when that happened, it's like I wanted to make it explode at the end. And I was in the studio and Chase was just like, all right, just like do some riffs and stuff. And so I was like, okay, ready? Like, I'm going to be loud a little bit. He's like, yeah, it's fine. And then I screamed and recorded that whole part. And he was like, he like stopped it and he was like, I wasn't expecting you to do that. And I was like, well, I fucking did. And then the rest is history, and we put it in.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
You.
Like, and I love that you only did it once too. I love that the second time that part comes, you don't do it.
Yeah, it was just like a little more riffs and stuff. But yeah, the scream was like totally not
like
normal.
it makes the song is great, but it totally makes the listening experience of it, because it builds tension, and when it releases the tension, it releases the fucking tension.
Yeah.
And then the song just ends too, which I also love. I absolutely love that too. I think that's fucking cool. I love those kind of things. I try and use those things too. Like I always try and like end songs. I'm like, don't resolve the progression. Like end on the 3, like
Yeah.
leave everybody going like,
Leave it for questioning, yeah.
fuck,
What happened?
I love anything that builds tension like that. And I love when lyrics do that, and I love when parts do that. And when the music and the lyrics kind of like work together to create that kind of a situation when you're a listener, it makes you feel a certain way, and it's a different experience than just listening to a song, which I appreciate, and I think is awesome. I love it.
Amazing. Thank you. Goal achieved.
Awesome. That's fucking great. Quick question. How do you title your voice memos and your notes on your phone?
We got to talk about that, because we do that. We do that with certain people.
Yes, with singers that are writers, that are songwriters lyrically. I always am interested to know how people title their voice
You got to
memos.
get yours too, because
I'm pulling it up from because I have so many new unreleased stuff
bet
that
you
I
do.
have to scroll past. So I'm trying to. And there's some.
we're just looking for titles. You don't have to play us the memo.
Yeah.
Oh no, I know. I have them up right here, but there's like a bunch of like weird stuff in here. So I guess I have like yesterday 1, like yesterday half, like yesterday almost full, like yesterday 2, like yesterday done. I guess I like you anyway in all caps. And then there's like fuck this shit, and then verse shit. And then first half of pre, other half of pre, sick of this shit. Then there's like other stuff. Pop punk chorus, love that. And then just like I guess it's kind of like the parts of the song that I write. But also when I don't have it, like V1 idea, exclamation, bridge lyrics. Like who knows what song those are for, but at least the time like tells me kind of. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, I have some of my favorites that I have here, because I love talking to singers that do this. I have Drop D Chevalicious. I have Rumble My B, my motherfucking B.
These are cooler than mine.
I have Taking Back Chemical Roses.
What?
Because apparently there's something on there that probably sounds a little bit like Taking Back Sunday, a little bit like My Chemical Romance, and a little bit like Guns N' Roses. I have the chorus to the unwritable verse.
Yeah. That's relevant.
Right? Exactly. So yeah, I have Pop Wheedle My Wee. And then I also have things like GCF Pop Blink Foo Better Recording. GCF Pop Wheedle My Wee. I give myself a little bit of a progression, a little bit of a genre style, and then a little bit of I don't know, whatever I was talking about at the time.
I love that. It's
I
more
had
organized.
a beat like a doom da da.
Yeah, I got some of those too.
Once.
Those are good.
Yeah.
A lot of home and a number. You get that?
Well, that's where you
When you
recorded
forget.
it.
No, well, yeah, everyone does that, and I feel like they're starting to do it. No one's doing it for a reason, but I'm like, I see people like big celebrities. Well, like in my mind, like big pop stars posting like their street and the name that they like recorded it on, and I'm like, am I doing something wrong? Like, no, I always title mine. They're just not titling theirs.
Yeah, I have B bow is one of them. I
The
don't know how that
vocal only ones I have generally will have something like that. The music, the guitar ones are usually a progression and then some dumb shit.
I play instruments, but I do a lot of it vocally, especially because like, a lot of my writing is like when I'm not at an instrument.
Yeah,
and like
that's an issue.
Yeah, so I do a lot. I mean, even when I like record stuff for Chase to produce out, I like sing a lot of it. I'm like, this is what I want this part to sound like. Like I'm still producing it out like old school way, but like I'm just doing it with my voice. I have stuff in here like awesome riff, and I bet that awesome riff was like me and like singing my voice like this like guitar part.
Right,
It's
you're
so
like,
funny. Yeah, so awesome. Like it's great.
I have those too. Like if it's late at night, like I'll be like, you know, it'll be 2 a.m. and I'll be trying to go to sleep, and then my eyes will open. I'll be like, oh, I got a fucking idea. So
that's like one of the only ways I write, FYI. But yes, keep going.
Absolutely. So I'll go in the other room, and because I don't want to wake up my girlfriend, and I'll go in the other room and I'll sit down, and I'll sit with my phone, and I'll be like, beep 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 beep.
Yes, that's the only way to do it.
I have that.
Absolutely. I got a lot of things in my car when I'm driving. A lot of those.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm super lucky. So I work at home now, and it's really awesome because, and I've said this a few times. It's like my wife is like super into my music and my music career and stuff like that, and she's empathic, which works to my advantage because like we'll be just like I'll be cooking, and I'll be like kind of thinking about stuff, and she'll talk to me about things, and I go, this, and I'll be doing whatever, and she goes, can you just go outside and do whatever is in your head? Just please, get it out, go outside, do what you got to do, make it happen. So this way we can have a normal human conversation.
Outside means in here. This is outside of your house. Just so everybody knows.
Yeah, no. She doesn't kick me literally outside.
Right. Can you go out in the yard and do this into your phone?
I built this studio, and she tells me to go do that here. So yeah, I'm super lucky. Also, speaking of super lucky, there's that transition that I was talking about earlier. Woo! You like transitions, right?
Yeah.
We have.
I feel like we haven't got one yet. We're in the middle of one. Where are we going?
Stop talking. Just for a second.
I'm about to find out.
Just for a second.
My bad.
Leah, we have an awesome sponsor. They're called Pod Decks. And what Pod Decks does is they create decks of cards for people without verbal diarrhea like we have. And what we like our guests to do is to pick from one of those decks. So, Leah, the decks you can choose from are these: episode deck, interview deck 2, would you rather, what the heck, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
And how dare you?
How dare you?
And on each of these are like 50 cards with a question on each, and we'll pick a random one.
I mean, I kind of want to do what the fuck, but I feel like the last one seems like the most extreme, and I'm like, let's do what the fuck. Let's just like
What the
play it politely
fuck?
safe.
All right.
I will let you know that what the fuck could be anything from completely benign G-rated to what did you just say to me? And those things could happen either way. Our last one, we actually ended up doing 2 questions because the first one was really lame, and so we went with the second one.
Right.
Okay,
But
I'm here for it.
But one of the other ones
Yeah.
led to discussing having sex with a swimmy.
Yes.
A water
With a
wing.
what?
So. Water wing.
Oh.
That's true.
A water what?
Water wing. You know when like
Yeah, those things you
kids
put
are
on your
too-
arms for kids.
Like floaties?
Yeah.
Floaties.
There's also another word for them, but I can't. Anyway,
Water wing is the other.
I've never heard of that in my life. That's why I was like, a water who?
I think wings because they're on your
Swimmies,
arms.
water
You're like,
wings.
"Ah."
Yeah.
Okay.
So let everybody know while Mike is shuffling that you can go to poddex.com. You can check out these decks and other decks are always coming out with new stuff. There's an app. They also have t-shirts. T-shirts are soft style, so they don't chafe up and rub your nipples in a weird fucking way like
Great.
t-shirts do sometimes. So it's not like the 7-Eleven a block away from the concert t-shirt that you bought in the parking lot when you were getting booze. It's not like that.
Nope.
If you decide you want to get something from poddex.com, just use the promo code BACON.
Because everything is better with bacon.
And you can get 10% off your entire order.
Leah, we're gonna fan these out.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to use the finger of power, which is this. And I'm going to go from my left to my right, your right to your left. You tell me when to stop, and that will be your question.
Okay.
Here I am, and we're going. We're going. We're going.
Pretty slow.
We can go faster.
Stop.
Stop it right here. Okay, this is... What kind of secret society would you like to start?
Like a cult?
Yeah. What kind of cult? If Leah could make a cult, what would that cult?
The Leah cult.
What would that cult be?
Dang. I mean, I've been like a part of friend groups that felt so, secret society is probably a better word for it. But like
Right.
that
So
felt
you've been in a
so
cult.
like niche to certain things. So I feel like, I would go for that answer. But if I'm like thinking of the like, no, I was gonna say I'm like thinking of the unhinged answer. I feel like it's just like my street team. It's like, people that like want to support and like that I can hang out with that like love what I do. I feel like it's not a cult, but it's just like a bunch of people that kind of believe in, the stuff that I'm doing and
Right.
that I love that and I love the support and I get to like, I don't know. I think that would be the answer.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
Well,
Drink the Kool-Aid.
I mean, are like street teams still a thing? Because I remember.
drink
yeah.
the Kool-Aid. Leonatics. Drink the Kool-Aid.
I used to like
Leaholics.
we-
Hey, Leaholics.
my drummer
Drink
and
the
I,
Kool-Aid.
my drummer and I'll talk about like the days of going to a mall and dropping off flyers and like
Yeah.
doing that kind of shit at like a
Handing
hot
out
topic
CDs.
and handing out shit and
Going to
stuff like that.
shows and handing them out in line
Oh,
with
my
headphones. Do you want
God.
to check out my
Yeah.
song?
It's so, I mean, when you're like
I
a
miss
fan
that.
of that person, it's super cool. And there's a modernized version of it. And I'll get into that in a second. But I was on Fearless Records street team when I was in high school and college. And
Right.
that was like, I don't know, that was like super fun because the bands would like interact with me as like a kid that liked their music and stuff. And I was just like, creating like I do a lot of graphic design and visual edits for myself, but it's like I was doing that for them in a very terrible way because I wasn't as experienced, but like I was
Right.
doing that for them as a kid, and it's like that like got me to where I am today, that like kind of inspired me. And so like the modern day version of that is Discord, and so like that's what we like all just like people get on Discord and I'm like, hey, I need you to support me in this, or like, you know, my top fans, which I consider all friends at this point, it feels weird calling them fans, will like talk to their friends about my music. And it's like, that's what a street team is. You're just like trying to grow what I've started, and you're just trying to spread it further and tell people that you like it because you believe in me and you believe in that. So it's not like very secret society-esque, I guess, but I don't know. I think it still is like a little fun way of you know.
I'm still trying to figure out Discord. We're
It's
setting
a
one
pain
up.
in the ass.
We're setting
So
one
hard.
up.
I have someone who does it for me. I can't. I don't know.
Oh, let us know on the side.
Figure that out.
It's really hard. It's really
a
it's
bacon
like
Discord.
coding. It's like coding. It's like you
Yeah.
have to. It's different. It's very different, and it's like it's very yeah.
But it's very much like a community thing where you kind of like all of your interests you kind of drop in a spot and you just okay, cool, and then we'll put a spot for you guys to self promote your own thing and this and this. Yeah, we're trying. TikTok too. Oh
Yeah.
man. TikTok's the fucking worst. I know it's the best way.
Leah does pretty good.
No, you do.
Leah does pretty well on TikTok.
I know. And
Not
you know
nearly
what?
as good as
Thank
some
you.
people.
Thank you for following us on TikTok.
Yeah, thank you.
But
Appreciate
now
that.
you know why we have no followers is because it's the fucking worst.
It's hard. It's really hard. I work in social media outside of like my service industry bar job. So it's just like I've grown up on that, seen what it's like to go viral, literally have clients of my own that I run socials for. It's like it is a beast and it is very hard to stay committed to it. I've just found recently that it's better to be yourself and do shit that's authentic to you than try to crack the code, because now people are getting made fun of for trying to replicate what was working. And like
Right.
6 months ago, if you replicated what went viral, you could go viral and it would be really good. But the internet is getting so smart and getting used to the culture of TikTok that you try to do that now and you're a joke. Like everyone's doing it. Everyone's sponsoring their videos. Like
It's gonna be just like music. And I also tell people this is I'm like, if you're trying to do what you hear right now, you're 5 years too late. You know, like that shit was recorded minimum 3 years ago. Because
Yeah.
it's been
Especially right now.
Yeah, because it was put on a label, and then they did a bunch of shit with it, and then they waited for it, and then they decided on a plan, and then it took them a year to do this, and it took them. So if you're
COVID.
trying to do something, and you're trying to do what you hear, you're too late. Just do you. Just do you. What's authentic.
and I'm
to
learning
you.
that. It's like I'm like editing these videos that I like to edit because I'm just like, here's my experience. I'm gonna make it because it's fun, and like
Right.
I don't care if it goes viral. I mean, it would be really cool if it did, but at the end of the day, it's like I always say this. It's like that's not the only avenue to success. Like people that have blown up on TikTok, I have friends that are doing phenomenally, but I think they were set up for it, like mentally, that was their goal and that was their life and that was their passion. Like they are on that path, but there are so many people out there who get that far and they don't know what to do after that, and it's hard. It's like you go through. It's almost like you really have to fight to say it was worth it. I feel like in the end, because that stuff is not easy and it shouldn't be like the only dream you're chasing. It's just like,
Well, do you think that there's a like if you're trying to be a successful musician, you have to do TikTok and you have to pay attention to social media. You have to try and build yourself that way. But do you think that's a different mindset than someone who wants to be TikTok famous? You know,
definitely, because if you're an artist and you want to succeed as an artist, you're going to be well-rounded.
Right, you have this other thing.
Yeah, versus like if you want to be
know?
TikTok famous, you're going to focus all your eggs in that basket, and you're probably
Right.
going to do great because you're putting all your energy there. But I think what people like artists often like do that is not the best for them is they put all their eggs in that TikTok basket when they have a
Right.
ton of other stuff. Like, do you want to get signed to booking? What about your relationships that you're supposed to be making? Like, You know, it doesn't matter if you don't have those. You know, if you're an artist, you have to try and be able to do all of them, whether you hire someone to help you or you do it yourself. Like, you still need to be well-rounded, I think.
Yeah, I still tell bands like you need a website. You know, like as much as it's great to be super big on social media, any social media company can be uncool and gone in the matter of moments. One thing that they do and immediately, like Twitter. Look at Twitter right now. Twitter has lost a lot of luster.
Slippery slope.
And people that base their whole shit on Twitter are now like searching for a place to be or find, like, oh God, we got to go over to TikTok. Whereas if you have your own thing, you can at least utilize every other thing that shows up, but you still have this home base and you still have this home thing. You can make all your videos so that they fit in all these different formats, and you can make content that fits in all these different formats. But if your home, I don't know, I feel like if your home isn't yours, if it's not yours, someone can take it from you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of one of those things where it's like, nobody goes to a website or nobody goes to this. Like, yeah, you're right, but you're at least not dependent on fads and trends.
Yeah. Also, social people like kind of threaten us like as artists all the time. Like, social media can go and be gone in a heartbeat. So get an email list. Like that's being said all the time, but it's true. It's like these platforms are like, you know how many times I've like have seen the threat that TikTok's just not going to exist anymore. It's like, can you imagine the sheer panic? Like, people are buying rightfully so, like investing in insurance for when that happens or your account gets like banned or all of that. Like, you need, because that's like that's your life. That's your lifeline. Living. It's crazy that can get taken away from us at any moment. And so I really do feel for the people that have built all their, their careers just on one platform. Definitely. I am fully supportive of it. I love social media. I don't see the bad in it as much as other people do. Like, I really support it. But, as an artist, like I do, like I was saying, like, encourage you to put things all over. Like, when what is it called? Like, I don't even remember the app name. There was a new app that was starting to like pop up because Twitter and TikTok were having issues. Oh
yeah, I remember that.
Hive, I think it's actually called. Mm-hmm. And I hopped on that so fast because I'm like, what if? And like,
what if? Yeah,
it didn't. But and maybe it did for some people, but not for me. I deleted it. But it's like, there's still like, there's always going to be something coming after, but you got to be willing to jump on that.
Well, and you have to have the mindset of, a lot of people think
adapting.
Well, also a lot of people think that their YouTube page or their Instagram page or their TikTok page is equivalent to having a home business, right? And it's not.
It's not.
You're working for a company that can shut down or that can fire you. It's just like having a job. You have a little bit more freedom, but you're still on a platform that is a company that you're working for. Mm-hmm. That's not your own business. It's you. You're selling you, but it's not your own business. Well, and I think that people miss that sometimes, and they think like, I'm creating something for myself, and I'm like, you kind of are, but you're actually creating something for this person who owns this company, and that's what you're doing. And the minute they sell that company and don't want to have your content anymore, you're fired.
Yeah.
And anyone that was following you is gone because they don't give you access to them. So unless you're consistently going, hey, everybody that follows me on here, sign up for my shit over here so that we can always be in contact.
Yeah.
You're kind of missing the full aspect of it. You're supposed to build your following, not build a following for a bigger company.
Yeah, but if you think about it too, it's like, those people you're asking to be at other places, even if whether you're asking them or not, it's like those are the real fans. And if we're like talking about music business and like all that jazz, like those are the people that are going to grow your career. They're going to show up to your shows, they're going to buy your merch, and like they're going to stream your songs. And like if they're on one place, they're going to be on all places, and that's the most important. Like, you can't focus on all your followers on one as an artist. You can't focus
No,
on all
you're
your
right.
followers on one platform. You gotta are you gonna sell out shows? No? Well, like, let's try to engage those artists so much that they want to be in your DMs and you're gonna talk to them all the time, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's at least how I try to think of it.
Make
but-
them friends. Make
yeah.
them friends.
Exactly.
It's the age we're in. It's the age we're in. Well, and honestly, it's not that hard. If somebody likes what you do and gets something out of what you do and appreciates it, then I'd probably be friends with that person if I met them in real life.
In real life, yeah.
You know
So
what
you
I mean?
share
Like-
some interests. Like,
Yeah,
'cause if
of
you're
course.
inspired by an artist, they got to be inspired by that artist, probably, if they're inspired by you. Yeah.
You know, like if they like what I do, well then I can probably introduce them to a bunch of artists that they either already love or will. You know, like we're gonna have things in common. We're gonna be friends. So why not go that extra step and
Yeah.
make them friends, which I think is a cool thing about Discord.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you were talking about the street team thing. Like I'm old enough to be at that crossing over point to, like, one summer I was gathering up members of my band Street Team in our van and going to concerts and parking in the lot and feeding them and giving them drinks while they ran out and passed out flyers and let people listen to music and everything. And we were doing that as like an outing. And then
That
the
was like
next
fun. That sounds great.
Oh my God, it was the best. It was the best ever. And then like the next summer, it was trying to get everybody to do things online. And literally, like, I had that experience of one to the other. And it was like, I really miss like
Yeah, the in-person stuff
those
is
in-person
very
things
different.
where it was like, oh man, there's 10 of us in our tour van and we're all going to this concert, so we're going to park outside of the venue. And hey, here's flyers for you guys to put on the windshields of all these cars. And here, you know, and we're going to play music and we're going to barbecue and we're going to do all this kind of stuff and get people and bring them around and all that kind of stuff to create like a community. And it's figuring out how to do that in an online way that
It's
still
so
feels
different.
like, that still kind of feels like or approximates that, like, hey, we're hanging out,
Yeah.
you know, versus.
Yeah. There's both ways, I think. I mean, it's
Yeah.
definitely like you want to get like because some of my street team members are like out of the country, and it's like,
Of course,
I
yeah,
can
that's
never
the cool
imagine.
thing. That's the
It
cool
is,
thing
yeah.
now.
That is the cool thing, but it's hard. It's hard to, like, stay in constant contact with them, but like I know they're doing their part because they'll check in with me. But it would be so cool to, like, be in person and go to
Yeah.
a concert together. I do know it still exists though. Like some artists that I follow around and like that I like to go to shows. It's like I've befriended the people that are on their street team because they go to all their shows, and now
Right.
I'm seeing them at every show I see in all the different states, and they're also there too. And so it's like it's still a thing. I definitely miss, or like I was never an artist when like that was happening, and like people
Right.
were just kind of like hopping along to those shows, but like I was one of those people that would show up at all those shows, whether it's like in a street team sense or just like a fan sense. I was at all the Mayday Parade shows that I could ever get my hands on at the time when I was growing up and stuff. So it's like a great community definitely to create. And yeah, the balance between social media and real life is like a learning curve for I think a lot of people.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. All right, so we've taken up a lot of your time.
So much. Thank you.
But I do want to ask. I do want to ask about your Nintendo stuff, because that is where my household is very rooted. Like my kids, they love the Switch. My son, he's got his PC games, all that kind of stuff. But I immediately got an emulator. I have a Retron that will play my old NES games and SNES games and stuff like that. So I know that is your bacon, one of your bacons, right? So like, I want to like, what is your like your go-to Nintendo game?
I mean, I have my go-tos, and then I have like the things that I've been like obsessed about lately. So like my go-tos are definitely, I mean, I guess they used to be like the Mario games and like Yoshi, but the new Yoshi stuff like just isn't hitting for me.
Right.
Luigi's Mansion has been fun growing up, and like Animal Crossing has obviously just been like a huge part of my life and in
Existence,
general
yeah.
growing up. Yeah, and then even over the pandemic, like I spent my entire life on that. Like that changed my life. Honestly, changed my life. Like I don't feel weird saying that at all. It felt right. But yeah, I guess like lately I've been really and then oh my god, Breath of the Wild. Super into that.
I've heard so many good things about that, and I
It
haven't
is
played
the best game I've ever played in my life. I haven't beaten
my
it yet
God.
because I'm like really scared of the Guardians, but like I do enjoy playing it. I've spent a lot of hours on it. That got me into Zelda. I grew up on Nintendo, like religiously playing every game. I had a Game Boy Color, was my first system at like
nice.
4 or 5.
That's awesome.
And yeah, and I've had every system since. So I've like had my cousin's Sega. Like I've played on Nintendo 64. Like I never owned the TV ones until the Wii, but I always had the handheld ones. So that's like why it was so important to me. But I just got into Zelda in 2019, right? Like a year after the game. Or no, was it?
Ocarina of Time is so good.
I've watched all the gameplay for the old games. I've played Link's Awakening was like on like the remake was on the Switch, so I played that. But like the Switch is what brought me to like love Zelda, and so instead of like playing all the Zelda games, I played Breath of the Wild and the ones on the Switch. But then I like got really into like the lore of it all, and I would just like watch YouTube videos and read like the encyclopedias of Zelda and stuff like that. So I got really into it in that way. So that's like where a lot of that nerding out lies. But I also love like a lot of these third party games. I've been really, really obsessed with Night School Studios, which makes Oxenfree and After Party. And Oxenfree is like their most common title. They have a couple of them, but the storylines, like I don't read. Like I guess like it sounds kind of like stupid. Like I don't read. That's kind of how I sound every time I say it because that's how I feel about reading. I hate reading. But I watch videos and I play games. Like that's how I can take in stuff. And so
Absolutely, yeah.
the closest thing I feel like I'll ever get to liking a book is Oxenfree or After Party, and those are like third party games from Night School Studios, which is like an indie developer, just kind of like Stardew Valley is an indie developer who makes that game. So it's just like these people that are sitting down there with like freaking amazing ideas and stories, and they're putting it into a game, and it's like people like myself and kids and adults and whatever, like that's the way that they find enjoyment in fantasy and like outside of their world and stuff that because like for a lot of people reading a book is to get out of your own life, and for me it's like playing a video game, and getting into all that, like all their like history of that. Like I fucking hate reading, but I have books of like I have a Stardew Valley book, and my ass like during the pandemic when I got into it, finally the game took me a long time to get into it. I played it like 5 times before I actually liked it, but all it took was like just getting into it. And once I bought the book, I'm just like, oh, let me go look at this fucking fish and like go read about it in this book. And I'm like, someone just created this like mythological creature, and like it tells you all about like the shops to go in on certain days of the week, and like why my ass is opening this book. Like I hate reading, but I'm looking in this book about like what days on the game I'm gonna go like to these fucking places. Like that's like I love that so much.
That's awesome.
It becomes like a choose your own adventure kind of book, I think.
Oh, sure.
Is also like I feel that like I like reading, but I haven't read a book in a very long time. But like I've thrown myself into like the first Last of Us and the second Last of Us. Like those games were huge to me. And then, like I'm a superhero nerd. So like the Batman Arkham games were super huge to me, and the Spider-Man games were huge to me. Getting into things that I really liked, like Lord of the Rings and Star Wars and all that kind of stuff, were in game form. Just let me kind of like play these other experiences and find these other things. Zelda was huge to me. Like I was saying, like I had Nintendo 64, so it was like GoldenEye and Zelda Ocarina of Time were like the 2 best fucking games in my life.
Oh,
like
good.
I played both of them so many times and over and over and over again, and just got lost in the storylines and the every little minutia aspect of it. Like, oh, I can fish, like you were saying, like I can do this, all that kind of shit. Like I love that shit. So I feel you. I'm with you.
Absolutely.
you're a Ninja Turtles.
I'm a Ninja Turtles guy.
I
so
played that growing up too, with my cousins. Yeah.
Dude, I just got the Cowabunga collection.
Mm-hmm.
So funny enough, I ordered it from Amazon, right? I get the box, and I tell my son, go ahead, open it up. And he opens it up. It's an open, like, case. There's no cartridge in it.
What?
There was no cartridge in it. And I was like, that is the worst ever. The worst ever. So we ended up setting it back, and it took, because it was on back order, it took like 2 months to get it.
You got some assholes like, I'm going to return it and get my money back, but give them an empty box.
Exactly. Much like this microphone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I finally got it.
You're right. We suck.
Well, it wasn't working. You're right. It wasn't working.
You're right. I'll show you.
So then we eventually get it, right? That's why I thought. I was like, this bad juju.
Right.
But we eventually get it, and dude, there's like Japanese versions of the original Ninja Turtle games that were on like Sega and SNES and all the Game Boys and all of that. There are like 20 some odd games.
Oh shit!
On the one cartridge.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited.
That's amazing.
So excited. It's so great. It's so great.
You know, to see joy like this on the face of three people that are talking about video games.
Yeah, it's the best
amazing.
thing ever. It's
Right?
life's purpose, honestly.
Absolutely.
Joy is life's purpose.
So, Leah, before we sign off here, what I do want to do is give you a forum to let everybody know, once again, where they can find everything that is you and your music.
Yeah. Again, my name is Leah. It's spelled L space E space A. Pretty simple, but a little complicated for some. And you can find that on any streaming platform. And then LOL, it's Leah, also known as, on any social media, everywhere. You can Google it. You'll find my music and anything else that comes up with my name. So, yeah, that's where you can find me.
Nice.
Do it.
New EP, Happy Never Ending, is out now. Check it out. The music is excellent. The songs are great. Listen to it, share it, post it, all those kind of things. Do all the stuff.
All of the things.
Yes. And I will ask you once again, after our conversation, we had one earlier where we had a brief 7 questions, and we asked you, what's your bacon? And that's a quick question to answer. You know, it's kind of like, oh shit, what am I answering? But now, after talking for longer, I don't know, maybe you're adding to it, maybe it's changed, I don't know. But as of now, Leo, what's your bacon?
I mean, I feel like, okay, my original bacon was Nintendo, you know, how my obsession with video games. I definitely still feel the same way, but I guess if we're like adding in other hobbies, I mean, I love to go out and meet people and I love talking to new people. So I think that also like drives my life and my existence, other than music, of course. So, you know, just like finding new places and people to meet and talk to, Nintendo, music, all of the above, you know.
Yes.
That is
my bacon.
Awesome. That is awesome. And everybody else that has been listening, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate you. We appreciate your time. We know you got a lot of things that you can listen to. So the fact that you listen to us is pretty fucking sweet. So thank you. You are amazing. You are awesome. And remember to ask yourself every single day. If you don't know, ask yourself. Figure it out so that your day can be better. Leah, what should they ask themselves every single day?
What's your bacon? What's my bacon? Yeah.
What? Woo! Exactly. What's your bacon? Thank you, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. What's your bacon? We'll see you next time. Told you. It was good.
It was a good one.
Yeah. She's fun.
Great.
We got to have her
great.
back. We got to have her back for something.
Agreed.
Maybe the Bimpies, but something. You guys let us know. Let us know if you want her to, if you want us to ask her. I don't know if she'll do it. But if you want us to ask her to perform or present something, or if you think she deserves a Bimpy, let us know what you guys think. Hashtag what's your bacon? Hashtag bacon is my pod. Stay in the conversation. Let us know.
I want to throw this out there. You know, on the Hard Rock Lunchbox, they play a lot of Lolo, right?
Yeah.
And she's great. Debbie
Absolutely.
Downer is
Absolutely.
I think Leah is a better Lolo.
Well, we just gotta send her to DJ and have him put some of her music on.
So yeah,
So we'll do that.
Let DJ know. Hey, you got to play some Leah.
Yeah, DJ is the host of the Top 20, which you can find on Strangerhood TV.
Agreed. Yes.
On the
Top
YouTube,
20 is
on the YouTube
fantastic.
page. So check that out. He also has the Hard Rock Lunchbox every Thursday. If you just search for hardrocklunchbox.com. It's a radio show. It's very cool. Top 20 is the first 20 minutes of it. His opinions and stuff like that. We just decided to highlight it a little bit. And it is a partner show of ours over on StrangerhoodTV.com, that network.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Check out StrangerhoodTV.com. There's all kinds of cool stuff on there. There's stuff from my band, from your band.
Yeah.
You singing some songs.
Yeah, I've been doing some vocal covers.
Yeah, drummer Chris Waterbury doing some doing his My Five show. where he's- warm ups, drumming, but also like talking about his favorite video games, talking about his favorite candies, all that kind of good stuff is over there. It's just a cool variety network type thing.
It's a
Trying to build,
pizzazz.
trying to do the thing. So if you want to see stuff in the visual form, check it out
do
over
it.
there. If you're listening to us audibly, thank you for listening to us audibly. Shoot us a review or whatever your audio thing that you're listening to us. If there's a way for you to be like, I like these guys, please just do it. It just helps us get heard by more people. If you hate it,
Algorithms suck.
do that too.
Yeah, no,
do
no.
it and then let
Tell
us know. Be
tell
like,
us why it
here's
sucks.
why I hate it. If you can't give us a reason why you hate it, then you suck as a human. So figure out another way to live.
Where can they find you, Jimmy?
You can find me over at Jimmy G's Shoes. Tell me how you hate me, how you love me. On all the socials. My band Craving Strange is at cravenstrange.net. You can check us out there. That will give you the keys to the kingdom of finding us everywhere else online. We have new music coming out pretty often, so check it out. There's always going to be something new or something happening. All of us live over at strangerhoodtv.com, which is the YouTube page, so check that out over there too. Check out all of this at baconismypodcast.com, where you can find not only Bacon Is My Podcast stuff, all our sponsors, all the deals, links to all the shows, but you can find some sweet merch that also doesn't chafe the nips. We got good stuff like the one I'm wearing right now, this More Bacon t-shirt, and you happen to wear the hardcore one, which is awesome.
One. I love this shirt. Oh, did you hear that?
That was a good crack. That was nice.
I hope that picked up on mic.
So yeah,
But
check
yeah.
that out. If you can't see us right now because you're listening audibly, baconismypodcast.com, you can check out all the shirts and all that kind of fun stuff. They're very cool. We run deals from time to time. If you have a design that you like or you want something, let us know. Stay in the conversation. Bacon is my pod. And what's your bacon? If you hashtag either of those, we'll see it. We'll hear it. All that kind of fun stuff.
Indeed.
Where can they find you?
Personally, at Me My Own Self Mike, my band at Something Heavy Music. You can catch us on all the streaming platforms. Something Heavy, I'm sure we've got something new coming out soon. Without further ado, let's end this.
Yeah.
Because there's pizza on the grill.
Cool. Remember to ask yourself every single day. Maybe it's pizza. I don't know.
Super duper important question. What's your bacon? What's your bacon?